Another episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast. I'm a host, Brandt Goebel, joined via video by the rest of the crew, starting with Brennan
Hi, Brennan.
and
Hi,
Tyler.
Brennan. I'm Tyler.
All right. We're all here. We're all here. We're ready to go. It's gonna be tough though to talk about this game. First initial thoughts, I'll tell you mine right off the bat. I was incredibly disappointed. Beyond disappointed. I thought this was a game where RSL was going to come out and dominate the worst team in the West, and they decided not to do that. What are your thoughts?
Well, the first thing that I noticed, and I tried to, I mean, you can't prep the team as a podcast member, but if I were to prep the team, I probably would have said, "Hey guys, these guys really took it to the Mexican teams and they really took LAFC down to like the last 10 minutes and so they actually played really well in the Nations League, which to me is kind of amazing.
The
But
League Cup?
yeah, Leagues Cup. So is it just focusing on Brennan for everybody, or is that just is
No.
that okay? That's just all right. No, I'm cool with that. I'm sure most of the ladies are cool with that. I just didn't know if that anyway. So
What?
I was just seeing
Tyler
you, a lot
Tyler
of
wants to
you.
make sure he gets as much screen time as everybody else.
No, I don't need screen time. I'm cool if we just focus on Brendan. But my concern going into this game was we've been off for 3 weeks. We have three new players probably coming into it, and they're all in the attack. And we lost the one guy who's probably his own self-starter, and they played really well in the Leagues Cup, Nations Cup, Nation of Leagues Cup. What
League
in
of
the one
Nations. Yeah, it was the
the
predecessor to the what'd you call it?
Yeah. And so anyway, they played really well and they went with a different lineup. They have changed up a ton of the way that they play. And credit to Ian Russell, man, former MLSer coaching over there. Good job. Way to go, kid. You're doing great. But we didn't see or hear that warning. And the first minute of the game, they had almost a tap in that was just off the back heel, and I was like, dude, the first minute, come on! It's like we weren't ready. We weren't on our front foot, like Pablo likes to say. That was my initial first thought.
All right, should we
No,
get
we
to this?
weren't. We weren't ready. But I think it really stemmed down to McMath's little blunder. I do think that was a real big turning point for the entire team because we were a little indecisive with what our attack was supposed to look like and what we wanted. Um, but to see McMath let that ball go past him was a little disheartening, and it didn't really seem like that should have ever happened. And it's happened more than once, which is hard, to, not very fun to say because I don't want to pick on him because he's a great goalkeeper. But this is this was a really crucial error, and I think we didn't really back because we didn't know who we were or what we were capable of. And you can see it in the upper third. You knew that, like you watched Diogo, he didn't really feel confident wherever he was going. He didn't know what other people were going to be doing. It was a tough game to watch with like you're expecting something really great, but too many pieces that don't fully understand what they're capable of doing yet.
Yeah, let's get to the starting lineup. We had Zach McBath in goal, where I was surprised. I thought Beavers. I really thought Beavers was gonna get the start. I don't really think it
Yeah,
would have
me
made a
too.
difference.
I thought it was his spot to lose from now on, but I guess not.
And then across the back line, we had Catranas, Vera, Glad, and Hidalgo, and the two stalwarts in the middle, Ojeda and Anelli, followed by Michael Chang on the right, Matt Crooks in the middle, and Diogo Gonzalez on the left, and Chicho Arango up top. So probably our best starting lineup minus, well, I guess you throw in Diego Luna somewhere. He was
For
out
Chang.
with, yeah, for Chang.
For
Out,
Chang.
for absolutely. Out with the yellow card accumulation. But still, it should have been a starting lineup that had 3 weeks to prepare. I was one that wasn't lamenting the fact that we were out of the Leagues Cup tournament early. I thought, hey, we're bringing in some players. Let's have a little mini camp and little mini preseason and get ready for the game. And they just ignored us totally, right?
Yeah, they did not listen to you.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I'm getting old, so I'm going back to a previous joke. The League of Nations tournament was the one before they started now I can't remember the nations. What is it?
The real one now is called Leagues Cup. The one
No,
that just
United
ended.
Nations.
Oh,
United
the
Nations.
United
League of
Nations.
Nations was before the
La
United.
Liga de Naciones.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a
Spanish.
terrible joke. It's a terrible joke, but I worked hard for it. So starting lineup surprises.
For me, Chang, I was like, Chang, hope you do it, buddy.
There was a great comment. I didn't see who was. I should have made a note. Somebody made a comment on Twitter that talked about, man, you can really see the drop off between Gomez and Chang right now. So
It's tough though. You know what I mean? You got to feel for him. He hasn't been getting minutes. How is he supposed to be able to just jump in and create things? He's used to stopping plays, negative passings, slightly bring the ball in. You
Yeah,
got to feel for him. He's
he's
trying to
ki
fill
he's used to killing
some
off
shoes.
games, not trying to get by people, and that is what
Exactly. And it
Gomez
wasn't like
did
in
better
this
than
game he was getting
anybody.
by people anyways.
No, but he didn't even try. There were 4 or 5 times he had a chance to take somebody on, and he just waited till they kicked the ball away from him. Like 4, maybe 5 times. I counted.
And he was also wanting everything on his left foot
Yeah,
as the right wing. That doesn't work out. I mean, if you look at Anthony and Manu, I mean, he's a left-footed guy that always cuts in and shoots with his left. It's like there's no quality there, unfortunately.
really. If you want Anthony at Man U, not Bukayo Saka, one of the best players in the world over at Arsenal, who plays
Best players
right,
in the world?
goes left. Man,
Nah,
dude, do you even England? Do you even know where England is?
I know where England is. And how many
You
how
just
many
hate
trophies do you guys
Arsenal.
have in your guys' cabinets? I was just wondering.
We got one two
boys,
years
boys,
ago.
boys,
How
let's
many how
if
many do you
you
have
guys are
there,
gonna
Brennan?
argue, you might as well.
Gunner.
You're supposed to be teasing Tottenham fans right now, not each other.
Oh, right. Fair point. Fair point.
So
But
let's
yeah, no, I think, and I hate to say it because I really like Michael Chang and I like what he brings to the team, but he looked out of place in that lineup. He did. He felt out of place. He wasn't just flat out giving the ball to the other team. At least most of the time he lost it, he was going forward into attack. But man, I think that was the story of this game, wouldn't you say overall? Just the giveaways.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to come up with next, chat about it, because there were some, obviously not a game to write home about, but there was some terrible play out there. I was watching Hidalgo, and it was one turnover after another. I thought it was probably the worst game he's had all season. Justin Glad had a terrible turnover. I don't know where he was passing it that led to the break on their first goal. Anelli and Ojeda were giving the ball away.
Yeah, and for me, the worst thing you can do as a player is have no pressure on you at all, and then you pass the ball to the other team. Like if there's pressure on you, fine. You know what to do, right? You boot it high and you boot it wide. Right? You just try to get that ball as far and as wide as you can. But if not, then you gotta pick out a pass. You know what I mean? And I think we tried to pick out passes and zip it into places where it wasn't happening.
Yeah. Another thing that they were struggling with, they spent a lot of time. I don't mind teams playing out of the back. I actually really like teams that can do it and do it well. RSL was not doing it very well in this game against San Jose there. Whether it was the back line not being able to find the next pass or um it was really awful. Or players not coming back. Maybe if Diego Luna's on the pitch, he inserts himself more into the game. Matt Crooks didn't seem like he was having a great game. I'm just really surprised he hasn't found himself more involved in the games this season. But yeah, it was.
Yeah, he felt like he was trying, and I could see him connecting a lot, and he was moving into positive places. But it's like he's playing Barcelona style, ticky tacky, tuck ticky tick tack, waka waka a, and everybody else is playing something different.
Shakira.
That's right. Hips don't lie, baby. Anyway, it feels like he's doing that and they're playing something else. Like he's running into a space where he knows he can get a good ball and then open them up, and they're not playing with him. And you have to play together to play that way.
Yeah, there was a couple plays where that was happening, where Crooks was playing off of Diogo and then cutting back, and Catranis was involved too. But it wasn't. It was like you were saying. I think we were even saying. I was talking to Tyler at the press box. It was like we were relying so much on Ojeda and Emeka to create that there was no way for us to move the ball, and they were trying to go to Chang, and San Jose knew that Chang wasn't going to provide much of a threat. And so they gave him space. They were letting him pass the ball up through there and then just get blocked in. Like there was nothing being created on either wing. And it was so frustrating because I don't like this whole, our style is make the two center defensive mids just run run a marathon the entire game. Like that just doesn't
Yeah,
seem
we
like
put a
the
lot
right
of
way.
pressure on those two in this game. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think fairly, because it kind of goes back to the point you were making about setting things up, but then like they didn't work. Like we watched them at practice, they were working on this corner where Ojeda makes a run to the spot and everybody
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
pulls out of the way. And then I was like, hey, they did this in practice. Let's see if they can execute it. And Ojeda makes this run behind his guy. He's wide open at the spot. Ball goes 6 feet over his head. And you're like, man, the coaching staff was putting in the time. They coached him up to do the right thing. They just didn't get the ball there. And, more often than not, that's, what you say, and that's what happens. Not every kick's going to be perfect in soccer. You kind of know that going in, but you want to have those crucial moments where the ball goes your way, hopefully. And really wasn't our night there.
Yeah, it wasn't even close to our night. Well, let's get to the first goal.
I'd like to bug the referee and say it was all Ricardo Fierro's fault, but he was pretty much invisible, so good job to him.
Yeah, I didn't make it to the press post game. You guys were in charge of that for us. But as we were driving home, I was telling my wife the one question I probably would have wanted to ask, I probably wouldn't have asked it. But like when the players come in, I would have asked them. So is this just a game, that you just chalk up to just put it all on coaching? But I don't know if they would think it was funny. But
No, I don't think they would think that was funny.
because there's
But
plenty of blame to go around.
yeah, there was. In fact, Brennan even asked Pablo a question. He called him Pobs.
Oh yeah, I said,
He
what's
said,
up,
"Hey,
Pop?
Pobs." I'm like, what?
I
I
was
tried
about
not
to
to
say
react.
minestrone, and I was like, oh, I don't know if
You're
that's
like,
gonna go well. I want to be able to be invited back. Yeah, I figured I'd just lighten the mood a bit.
yeah. He was not happy though. You asked him what like positives came out of it, and it took him a good 20 seconds to think of something to say. So he was not happy about how we played. And to be fair, this is San Jose's hustle team, right? This is not their skill team. It was their hustle team. Their bench was full of like a lot of their guys that they brought in to be their skill guys, and it was filled with their lineup was filled with guys that are just hustle guys, young guys, eager guys, hungry guys. Like that's what made up that lineup. That Pellegrino guy, Buddha, whatever that guy's name is, Boda, number 17. He was playing like the striker up top. Anyway, they played hungry. That's what got them the win. So
Well, who was number 28? You were commenting on him. 28 for San Jose.
Kekanovic, yeah, they list him
Kekanovic,
as an
dude.
attacker, but he played right back and he pretty much owned that side of the field, man.
He locked it down, man. We could
Yeah.
not have
Anytime we
anything
got
through
near him,
there.
he was like, I'll take that. I'll take
Yeah,
that.
man.
I was like, man, we cannot get by this guy.
So the
It's
first
an
goal,
unfortunate game.
Yeah.
very unfortunate for a lot of reasons. But the first goal starts off when Justin Glad has two players wide open, no one covering him, one right next to him in Hidalgo, and then Michael Chang 30 yards in front of him. But the whole right side, totally wide open, and he chooses to try and have a line breaking pass between, I don't know where he's going. Maybe he just missed Ojeda, trying to go to Ojeda there, but it ends up being picked off by San Jose player, and there was another one right there as well. And they
Yeah.
quickly turn it and head forward and get it out to the outside.
Well, and
And
don't forget that Vera was like back there. So like they could have played quick and got that ball right down the middle, but they didn't. I mean, it still worked out for him, but Vera had to come in from a really bad angle to, cover. And then they get it to Espinoza, who's their best striker. Sorry, go ahead, Brent. Go ahead.
no,
Finish
they
that
got
off.
to Espinoza, who's their best striker, and then he rips off a right foot shot. And watching it, because it was down in our corner, I was like, how did you miss that, Zach?
Well, it's the top of the 18. He
Yeah.
wasn't right next to him, but also the shot went low, but it was like right in, where goalkeepers hate the ball between their hands and their feet. If it's at their feet, they can block it with their foot. If it's at their arm's length, they can grab it. But it was like right in that underneath spot. And so Zach just ended up hitting it down, which, man, you rewatch that and you're like, oh, he's going to want that back. You
Oh,
know,
and
just,
one of the arguments we've been making about Beavers is those are the shots he can't stop. And then, as we've said, when you have two half decent keepers, you have none, and that's kind of where we're at right now. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, let's get Beavers in there," and it's like it's just going to be the same, other than
yeah.
Yeah, that's just an emotional decision, though. I mean, that's if you're looking at it game by game, not as a whole picture. I think McMath is still our starting goalie, but
Well, he's got
I
more
think
leadership for sure, right? I don't
right.
think there's a doubt that he's the leader back there, but
But if you think
yeah.
about like that whole how we dispossessed in that, it's probably the coaching. You could tell like throughout this entire game, we were trying to pass more than one like window. We were going two people but down. We were trying to make long passes instead of just connecting one by one. I think that was a coaching mistake because right after Glad dispossessed that pass, we still had what 8 to 10 more of the exact same style of passing that instead of what we've done in the past, we've switched to. I don't blame this on the guys by any means. I think this was a coaching change because we were trying to make Diogo and everybody in the upper third more involved more quickly instead of working through like we have in the past. I think it was
Yeah.
a mistake by coaching.
Well, and then like in the 28th-ish minute, there was that play where they knocked it over. And to be fair, we had a couple set pieces that we couldn't get over the first defender. That was fun.
Oh
Like
yeah, that was
service has
Vera
been
kicked one
weak
right
for a
into
while.
it. We're not even getting the ball close. Like we tried 3 or 4 different guys. That's why I asked Locke at the end. I asked Lachlan Brooke at the end of the game. I said, so at the end of the game, they you took the corner kick. Was that by design? Usually, and he's like, yeah, they usually have us assigned like who's taking which one. But I ran over and got the ball, and then Giogo was like, yeah, go ahead, man. So I took it, and I think that was one of the closest chances we had.
yeah.
Like, gosh, dang it, like we just were not very close at all. So yeah, but in the 28th minute, right? They had that play where they kicked it wide, and Pellegrino's just a happy runner. He's just flying up and down that wing, and maybe it's just because he's tall that he looks fast, but he looks fast, and he sends it in, and Zach lets it hit him in the chest as the striker flies in front of him and misses it, and then they come back out, and Espinosa tries to hit it in, and then Pellegrino tries to backhill it, and it was just lucky that it hit Zach or it hit
Justin.
Glad in the trailing foot. No, yeah, it was
Oh,
Bodie. It hit
yeah, it
Bodie
was your
in
doggo.
his trailing foot. Yeah. I was like, dude, that's like the third time they've almost had a tap in. Like, and none of them went in. It was the shot from outside that went in, but those were two way better chances. And they were getting chance after chance like that, you know? And like eventually one of those is gonna go in. The you can't always emergency defend and think that things are gonna work out all right.
Yep. And then it got worse. In the 33rd minute, there was a foul. And from what I saw, it looked like it was a foul. And so they had a free kick about 40.
Wait. Did you see the foul?
Oh, dude, that was not a foul. There's no freaking way that that's a foul.
It looked like I could
That
see
was
where
the
from
biggest
our
miss of the
angle,
game, dude.
where we sit, thought, oh, that's a foul. Then I saw the replay. I thought, all right, well, maybe not. But
So for those of
I
you
can
that
see.
forget, here's what happened. It was a Meccanelli, right? The ball came to him and he kicked it past the guy, and the guy ran into Anelli, and Anelli, instead of going down, he tried to fight through, and then the other guy just kind of grabbed him and tackled him to the ground. And at worst, it should have been a foul on the other guy because Mecca played the ball, he played the man and just tackled him, right? So should have been a foul on the other guy, or at worst, play on. At worst, play on, incidental contact, play on. But to have them call a foul on Anelli on that play, nah, dude, that's messed up. I don't like that at all. The guy's not even going towards the ball; he goes right to the player. Bad call. That's the only bad call the guy made in the whole game, though. So
Yeah, I think we're being nice on him because I don't think he. If you really put it under a whatever you call it, spyglass, microglass, whatever.
Under a
I think
telescope, a small
he gave
telescope,
us, yeah, whatever.
microscope.
I think he gave us a 6 out of a 10. I think a couple more yellow cards would have changed the way of the game. And I mean, if you looked at Catranis, should have deserved a yellow card with the how chippy he got. I mean, him and Espinosa were getting really, really heated. I don't really enjoy that ref. I think he was too scared to make bold decisions. I mean, I don't think it really affected the game other than that goal because I do think Emeka was the one being fouled, not the one making the foul. But I don't know. I feel like
yeah,
Tyler right now.
and they could have done the yellow card on both of Espinosa and on Catranis on that play.
Yeah.
Espinosa kind of scissored him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that would have been a yellow card, but again, didn't go to review. Nothing. Ref's like,
Yeah.
play on.
So
But
San Jose
again, we're
gets
still in the first half. So then they get the free kick. And to be fair, they did a kind of a cool little thing with the way they ran their free kick. And, they had two guys on the ball. One guy set it up, and then the other guy hurried and took it. And in the meantime, their striker made a run, and Crooks was like 2 steps slow on it. So he's trailing him. Guy gets an open header at the 6. He heads it down. McMath blocks it into the post, which good save by Zach on that one. Like really,
But
it was.
Chang didn't stay with his man. That was the problem.
Yeah, there you go.
well. The
And,
other thing too, watching the replay. If you watch the replay, if that ball doesn't go in, there's a good chance that VAR says take a look at that because
and
whether it was Crooks or Vera, whoever was behind him,
it was Crooks, yeah.
shoves him really good and tackles him right out of the play.
Yeah, well, that's the kind of stuff the ref let go because there was one that was similar to that, which we'll get to in the second half. That's my we're on pause face for the second half. No, I'm just kidding. But
So yeah,
yeah,
so
Crooks
go
gave him
down
a good
two
shove.
nothing and sucked the life out of the building. And yeah, RSL was frustrated and San Jose wasn't having a fun time just annoying the RSL players, it seemed like, and doing all the gamesmanship, which you should do if you're up 2-0. But as they pointed out in the post game, when you're up 2-0, they just sit back and you got to break them down.
Well, it's
So-
the most dangerous lead in all of soccer. So
And RSL did have a couple of shots. Well, why don't we? Any other thoughts on the first half, and we can go to halftime?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Well, I think we need to be, as a group, we need to not be so harsh on them, adding in pieces. If you've ever played the game FIFA, you know that when you get all these nice new guys that are like gold cards, you throw them in, it doesn't necessarily work. You start to see where other areas are weak now that there's something stronger ahead of it or behind it. And we're seeing that, the fact that we've gotten these nice players, but other players had to fill in. There was a lot of holes, and I don't really expect us to win if that's the case. No offense to Chang, but I think if Chang starts again, we're in a disastrous place. No offense to
All right,
him.
somebody want to do some halftime music? Boop, 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 boop. Halftime.
You just
I'll-
did
I
it. Great
love
job,
that.
dude.
That was
I guess I
great.
just
Yeah.
did
That
it.
was
Good
awesome.
job.
I guess I just
It's incredible.
was some good
smooth
scatting
jazzing
there.
us into scatting us into the halftime.
Yeah. I love it.
What about orange slices? Were there any to give out in the first half, or any to give out during the game?
The first half. Uh,
I got to give it to my boy Ojeda again. Super good on the ball. Was still pressing quite a bit. I mean, he took a couple shots. Still trying to connect. Same with
the
Crooks.
giveaways, though, man. The
Yeah,
giveaways.
but everybody had a giveaway. I mean, Vera had a giveaway. Catranis had a giveaway. Hidalgo had a giveaway.
Hidalgo
Emeka
had
had
a
a couple
giveaway. He had
giveaways. I mean, he was working real hard. I mean, Diogo had a
Hidalgo was
bunch of
back there like
giveaways.
Oprah Winfrey. You you get the ball, and you
Yeah,
get the ball, and you get the ball.
yeah. We're just succumbing to new faces and new places, and we don't know how to get there.
Good rhyme, though. That was very poetic. Good job, man.
Thank you. I'm trying my
That was
best, man.
solid. Yeah, yeah. Well, you can't give it to anybody on the back line because you gave up 2 goals. You can't give it to Zach because he dropped the ball in. You can't give it to Emeka because he essentially caused the foul that led to the first goal or the second goal. You can't give it to Ojeda because he had too many giveaways. You can't give it to Chicho because he wasn't involved that much. You can't give it to Diago because he missed and like his first shot went right over the
Oh,
goal
you
and
know
hit my
what?
daughter right in the face.
I was just
Oh
gonna say.
yeah.
I was gonna say
She called me.
Diogo gets a orange slice for
For hitting Jerica in the face.
yeah.
Oh,
That's a
he
hard
gets an
target.
orange slice. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. She's shifty. So he
Favorite
really had
miss of
to.
all time. Yeah, no, she's like, woo, bam, it still hit her right in the
Yeah,
face. Hey, how does that happen? I don't know. But
your
she called
dad's a
me
center
laughing
back.
about it. Yeah, yeah, she was
Your
laughing.
dad's a center back. That's how that happens.
Yeah, well, you know, you clear the ball. You let it hit you if you have to.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, but there
It's,
was that one play where Chicho and Giago, it was like they were gonna combine, and Tiago kind of underhit it, but it gave us hope. And I asked him about that in the post game, and he was like, "Yeah, expect much better out of us next time." So
Nope, that was true about Jerica. I saw
I
the
did
post
ask
on
him in Spanish. He
Instagram.
was-
That
Oh, did she put it up there?
yeah, she put it on Instagram. That's why I asked her about. That's why I was thinking. She says she was very excited to be the first player that Diogo's ever hit. I don't know if you put it that way, but she was part of his first shot that came sailing into the stands and clocked her right in the head. And she was so excited. She's trying to get her dad's attention. Oh, yeah, he hit me.
That's funny. Oh,
Good
too
for
funny.
Jerica.
Yeah, so
And we'll
Jerica
give,
is the player. The first, I give her my orange slice then.
yeah, she was the defender of the. She stopped our own shot from going in.
Yeah. And you can't give it to Chang because he didn't play very well. And you can't give it to, so I ended up giving it to Crooks. He tried real good.
Yeah. Well, I think 2 out of 3 is good. We'll just leave it at that as far as orange slices
You're not
go.
even giving one away. Oh, for the first time in the history of our podcast.
I'll give one to
Brandt is
Jerica.
refusing.
I'll
Okay.
give one to Jerica for taking one for the team and getting a black eye for Real Salt Lake.
There you go. Now Brennan is like on Instagram hunting down that video. He wants to play it.
Oh no, I'm just looking out. Lululemon stuff. So sorry.
You need some new tight pants. Is that what it is?
No, I'm just
You
gonna get
got
one of
your
those
tight
crossbody
pants,
bags.
you got your
Yeah.
tight pants on. So, anything else at halftime? We have some new players that showed up. We talked about Diogo Gonzalez, Lachlan Brook will show up in the second half. Dominique Markchuk, I think he's still working on visa, but he might be available for the next home game.
Hey, just like our new sponsor, which is yet to be named, they've been working on getting us the proper verbiage they want. And next week, it looks like we are a green light for our new
Nice.
sponsor.
New sponsor. Nope.
Oh, breaking news. Did it. Yeah. Figured if Real Salt Lake was adding people, we were gonna add sponsors. So
Yeah, we should do that. We should,
yeah,
yeah.
we should do
Yeah.
that.
I got to mark that off our goal.
All right, check
Sponsor. Check.
and check.
So one other thing too I wanted to talk about. I think we brought in some good offensive players. Wouldn't it be nice to have some defensive players? Tim Ream, it was pointed out to me that, and I saw this on the interwebs. Tim Ream leaves Fulham and heads over to Charlotte. I don't know how much they paid for him, but
Yep.
man, is Tim Ream better than Justin Glad or Brian Vera?
No.
No, he's a better passer, but that's it. Not more physical, not faster, not
Yeah,
yeah.
I think we'll see how it goes. See how if this is a blip or the season turns around. But the defense has really started, has not played stellar for a long time. You know, that right
Yeah.
side, why we don't have a stellar right back in Major League Soccer is beyond me. I don't know that Bodie Hidalgo is going to be that. Andrew Brody, those guys are good players.
Yeah, we got Brown, Bodie, and Brody. So
But we'll
the
see.
triple
We
B's.
saw,
We just
you
need
know,
one of them to be good, right? Just like our goalies. Just one
yeah.
of you, be good. Just
Yeah,
for the
come on,
game you're in.
Gomez.
Yeah, so we've started RSL in this transfer window, I think has tried to prove that they want to be a player, and the players that they're bringing in may be better, as good or better than the ones that were leaving. Andres Gomez proved that he might have been the team MVP this season, right there in a lot of ways. He's going to be missed with the chaos he brings at the end, at the scoring end, but to be successful in this league, you just cannot have that kind of struggles in the back line. You have to have players you can count on. And if Justin Glad isn't going to become the player that we all thought he would be, expect him to be, a team that's getting call-ups to the national team. And if we can't figure out that right back position, uh, it's going to be rough.
Yeah, and I think this one looked really rough because we replaced a couple of guys up front, both our young studs, Luna and Gomez, at the same time.
Yeah.
And then Chicho went out right before halftime, and it was like, oh, guys, this does not look good. And, no offense to Julio, but he's no Chicho. And, the other two guys that were brought in really weren't doing it really either, a little bit here and there. But it was like Giago was trying to be a little too cute,
Yeah, and you can't
trying
all
back heels and flick ons and me and my back heel, never back heel. Okay, kids, this good
Never back.
advice, never, ever back heel unless that's the quickest way you can score a goal. Then fine, back heel. Otherwise, I think Thiago tried 3 back heels. All of them were terribly unsuccessful, including the one where he made a run into the box and then back heeled it to himself, and his other leg let him down. I don't know what you say because he kicked it off himself out of bounds. And that's
So-
what happens most of the time. You back heel. Okay, I'm off my.
So back heel is right up there with
Okay.
toe poke for Tyler.
Everybody show me your favorite back heel and send me videos about it all week.
Yeah, that's your favorite curse, right? You toe poking back healer.
Me too.
That's a good point, Brandt. That is if you toe poke and back heel in the same play, oh man. If I'm your coach, you're in big trouble. I'm subbing you off right now, and we're having a talk.
Yeah, not every player you bring in is going to be Marco Royce, right? Good
Oh,
job, LA Galaxy.
bro. Gosh, they're gonna be so tough to play. Like
Yeah.
Marco Royce, what a sign.
LAFC, LA Galaxy. It's going to be a fight for third. Is that what we're trying to say?
Yeah.
Hey, third right now sounds great. I know we're kind of there, but like, it still sounds good the way we've played over the last little bit here. So,
All right. Anything else for halftime? We'll get into the second half. What are your guys' thoughts on the second half? I've watched the highlights. I was there, but I also had three grandsons, 5, 4, and 3 that I'm bragging about, and they wanted to go to the over to the park at the field and ride the bus and do all those
wait,
things.
did they call those things those names, or did they have different names for them?
They just
Aren't
said,
they from England?
"Yeah, well, can you
They
take us
are
to the
from
park?
England.
Can you take us to the park?" And so I said, "Sure." So I hauled 3 of them by myself, which I guess I should have gave myself a
Grandpa Orange
orange
Slice of the
slice.
Week. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
for hauling
Yep.
3 boys by myself. And I came back. The best part about it is I took 3 and I came back with 3,
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Dang.
right? I mean, I
Grandpa
didn't
of the
lose a
year.
single one.
Wow. That's
I mean, I don't know if
stepping
they're all
up.
our kids. They might necessarily have been the same 3, but I came
Hey,
back with 3.
that's the important part.
So I think it's probably a better choice than having to
Oh.
watch the second half. I mean, what are you guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah, it was rough. And like I say, you lose Chicho along with Gomez and Luna all for the second half, and like we ran out of ideas kind of quickly.
Yeah, we did.
Tyler goes to pause face.
Yeah. So bad. So that was my biggest disappointment in the second half was that I mean, the back line stepped it up and got more physical, and I think they improved a lot in the second half. We gave up way fewer chances, but also San Jose were sitting back a little bit, you know? So
I
Yeah,
wanted to
struggled.
ask you guys a question though. So, Chicho, do you guys think he has the pace to keep up with our style of play?
Oh, it's a good question because we do like to play fast.
Yeah, I've noticed when watching him in the game, he doesn't have breakaway speed. He doesn't have the ability to be the faster player. You know what I mean? Like how most of your strikers are pretty similar with their speed. Like they're pretty like there's a certain speed that they all can attain. I feel like Chicho is a little bit slower for what we're trying to use him in. So like he ended up before he got hurt. I think he ended up on the right wing, like as like on the top on the right with Crooks in the center. And I don't think he has the speed to be a winger. And I think with Diogo in, I think Diogo kind of replaces Chicho in that top position. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, do you see where like that
Yeah,
four two
but
three one scenario?
maybe as your speed guy, but also Luna's pretty fast. Luna's had a few breakaways too. Um,
Yeah,
Chicho doesn't have to be fast because what he brings is quality finishing. So he'll be moving around. He'll get into good spots. He's done it, quite a bit this season, right? He's way up
yeah,
there in goals. I mean, I don't think he needs to change his game to a breakaway, but I think that's what Michelle and I thought it was funny that the announcer called him
Mitchell,
Michael.
Michael. What was it?
Michael, yeah.
Oh yeah, it was Michael. Because then we were like, oh yeah, him and Michael Chang.
He called him Michael, didn't call him Michael.
Benji Michael. Yeah, Benji
And
Michael.
Zach McMath was starting in midfield. Maybe that was a problem. He announced
Yep.
that at the start of the game.
Yep.
Our
That's definitely a problem.
midfielder, Zach McMath.
Wow. Rough.
Tough.
Yeah.
So to Brennan, that's a great question, but I do think there's a difference between playing fast and playing quick. And I think RSL wants to play quick. They don't necessarily want to play fast. And right now there was a disconnect between the guys in the back and figuring out a way to get that ball quickly forward. I think they were expecting to do it in fewer passes. I think RSL, when they're playing well, they possess the ball and find an opening instead of trying to force an opening. When you're holding the ball on one side, maybe, and you open it up, you draw the defenders in, opens up a switch, and they weren't being very patient and trying to find either a switch or a mistake or getting behind. Uh, and I don't think and I think you're absolutely right. Chicho isn't gonna uh, win a foot race with a lot of quick defenders, but
No, but he's good in the air and he's good
he's
around the.
brilliant at
Yeah.
finding spaces to be dangerous. And if that's the way we're going to play and you want him to be quick, then that's a mistake. That absolutely is a mistake. RSL needs to get back to what they were successful in the start of the season, patience, a patient buildup, and not panicking, which they did quite a bit against San Jose, it seemed like.
And get Chicho the ball in the box.
Yeah.
I mean, still leads the league right now, 17 goals. Benteke is tied with him now, and Bowanga's at 16. As long as Bowanga doesn't win it, I'll be satisfied. But I would love it if Chicho could come in and win it, right? That'd be sweet.
Yep. So let's look at the stats, unless there was anything that stood out in the second half other than frustration.
Well, I did see a really cool turn and shoot from Thiago right around I think it was 52nd minute. Yeah. He turned and shot it. He ripped it. And I was like, ooh, that's something. I
That's a
asked
good
him
game.
about it in broken Spanish in the post-game press conference. And then Delmy was like, hey, good Spanish, Tyler. And I was like, oh, if she had to say it, then it probably wasn't that good.
Makes you feel good. Well,
Good try, Whitey. I think is what she was trying to say.
it might have been closer to Spanglish if I was kind of getting the gist of your
Uh,
question. So I'm not trying to jump on there. Jump
no, but I asked him, hey, is there more to come from that? And he was like, no, it was just a bad shot. I just missed, so I'm mad about it or something like that. It was like a very short answer. And I was like, okay, I'll stop asking you questions then. I was the only one that seemed to be asking questions though, but whatever. I have another question, this time in Portuguese,
This
another
time in
language I
Portuguese.
don't speak. Maybe Italian. I don't know. We'll see what comes out.
I don't know what language I speak, but it is Duolingo. I speak.
Yes. And then the last thing that I want to touch on was Lachlan Brook. He came
Oh
in,
yeah.
he brought energy, he came after, he
Oh,
went all out, he got close, he got a
how
yellow
quick is
card.
he?
He's very quick
Creative. I
and
don't even think like
creative.
he's quick. You got to say he's creative. Like he's creating so many options off the ball. He gives and goes and he doesn't do the typical runs.
No.
Like he's willing to go anywhere. It's impressive. I want that guy to be starting. Like he's the next Gomez, probably even better. If he
Yeah,
can
but
put a goal in the frame. Yeah.
Could
he's
be,
one of
yeah.
he's one of them tiny shin guard crew, right? You gotta love
Oh
that.
yeah.
Him and Palacio, man.
And Luna.
And
Oh
we'll
yeah,
see what
Luna.
Dominic Markchuk. He's a young kid, U22. He's only 20 years old. He's supposed to be good. So maybe this is a bump in the road, and we just need get a couple of games on under RSL's belts as a newly redesigned team, and see if they can't make a push to stay in the top four, top three in the West. I mean, they're just sitting right there, and they need to do it. So hopefully, this will be motivation to bring some positives out of the loss, as Brennan asked Pobs.
Pops.
Habs. But looking at the stats, it's one of those frustrating games. RSL 62.9% possession, 37.1 for San Jose, 18 shots for RSL.
How many on
Only
target though?
four shots on goal out of 18.
Yeah.
That's very Pablo Ruiz 2020. Yes.
Yeah.
Block shots 4, total passes 569 to 331. But when you have that many passes and you're just passing around the back, you're not getting anywhere. 7 corners, 13 crosses, which is getting up there. It's not too bad. Anytime you see RSL getting close to 15, 18 crosses in a game,
It's
then you
spray and
know,
pray. Yeah.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
more successful like San Jose was with 8. 8, 9, 10, and RSL's had a pretty good game. Only 2 offsides. I don't know how long, Anderson Hooley was in. But only a 0.9 expected goals. 18 shots, 0.9 expected goals for
Yeah,
RSL.
Daniel had a
There's
couple
a
of
good
good
story right
saves on
there.
us. Yeah, their keeper did have a couple of good saves on us on some pretty solid shots, but yeah, I think we deserved a goal, but they were 2.6. So
Yeah,
yeah,
they deserve more.
they might have deserved 3.
They did 3 or 4 in the first half.
Right.
So
So, and they had a ton of clearances because we had a lot of chances, but we didn't have as many shots as we had chances. I
there was
think we had way
one.
more chances.
I think the goal might have been could have come on that looping shot that he just barely palmed away. That kind of like the play where on their second goal they hit kind of bounced around, hit the post and tapped in. I mean, there was a chance there for that. So, but any
Yep.
other
Overall, very depressing game, especially the second half. They kind of just bored the game out of us, and we kind of just let it happen until Brooke came in, and I think he changed it. I think Palacio sped it up a little bit, but other than that, like everybody else did almost nothing, which is
So
too bad.
sad.
I mean that kicked the ball around and whatnot, didn't make big mistakes, but also didn't do enough to really change the game.
True.
Yeah. So, oh, and also at the end, I haven't heard this for a long time, at least a season or two. The Boo Birds came out after the game. The fans, not all of them, not a lot of them, but you could hear there was a little bit of booze. Maybe that was just frustration.
And to be fair, San Jose picked up their 5th win on the season
Oh,
to go along with 19 losses. So probably understandable that a couple of boos came out their second road win on the season. Only Dallas and St. Louis have fewer road wins than San Jose.
and that you're just rubbing salt in the wound there, aren't you, Taylor? That is just
Well, I think
That's
that's why I would boo after a game like that. Boo that. Yeah, boo. 19 losses on the season? That's way more than anybody else in the whole league. St. Louis has 10, Kansas City has 14. The
19.
next is 12, 12, 12, and those are all in the East. Oh, wait, New England has 14 too. So, yeah, let's play them next and bring those dorks to town, the Revolution, right? They'll come in and they'll play like they're all a bunch of freaking all stars.
Yeah, it's open
Priest.
season on RSL now.
So
I think we have to
angry.
start over because now I'm a little more mad than I was before we started this podcast.
I'm
And we're the
getting
positive
riled up
I'm gonna
thinking
cut these
about it.
run
over.
out, Ed.
We got to go back. Go back to the front. RSL. So
RSL pissed off fan podcast. We can't even think of the name of our own podcast because we're so angry.
Oh, that's funny.
all right. So we'll see. Maybe it was just a bump in the road. We'll see what happens. Do we dare expect a different team to come out against New England?
I sure hope so.
Yeah, I think we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna go right back to winning.
But we'll give it a couple games. We'll give it a couple games to get back in the groove. New England, we should be able to handle New England. I mean, to be fair, they're 4th to last in the East, which is supposedly way better than the West, according to Brandt.
Not this
But
year.
their
Oh.
their goals for are 28 and their goals against are 47. So we should be able to get a goal against them.
Well, let's
But
hopefully if our expected goal rate is not 1.2 or higher.
then you're out. You're
I'm out.
you're gonna
That's it.
skip the
I'm
next
done.
game.
We can't go from 0.9
Skipping
against
the
San
next one.
Jose to 1.2 against New England. Then what are we doing? What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Anyway, I guess that's
a good question. What are we doing? Yeah.
That's as
Well,
wound up as
hopefully.
we get. All
Start
right, so
yelling
enough
and
of that.
screaming.
We need to move on to the Come On Crawley update, right? And it is the Come On
Oh,
Crawley.
I gotta go. Yeah.
Wait,
I gotta
wait,
go.
almost there. I got one more after this. So Come On Crawley, if you want to be frustrated, you want to stick around for the post update. Here, how about this?
He doesn't
Crawley,
want to stick around for the come on menu update. That's why.
No.
Oh, they're gonna
73% possession, Crawley Town.
Let's hear it, Brandt. What do you got for Crawley?
73% possession
Yeah.
for Crawley Town. 15 shots on goal. 671 passes to 247. And guess what the score was? 9 corners.
73-0.
1-0 Wigan. Yeah. Talk about frustrating weekend. So
Yeah, they
73%
just nick a
possession.
goal.
Well, own goal.
Oh,
They nicked an own
even
goal.
worse than them nicking a
Yeah.
goal is getting
Yeah.
an own goal.
They're not
Oh,
even in the game, and you just gave away 3 points. But first loss in the season.
oh,
It is a revamped team. They signed another American player though. I can't remember his name. It's a really long, weird name, Tola or Cola, from Louisville in the USL.
Louisville.
Yeah, so we'll see how he
You mean Louisville, not
Louisville,
Louisville.
Louisville,
Thank you.
Louisville.
There you go. Yeah, you
He's a
got it.
slugger, and maybe that's his problem. He's a slugger. So yeah,
Oh
15
man.
shots on goal, 3 on target, and they just could not. Yeah, talk about frustrating. But it was their first road loss of the season. They're 2-1 now. 2 wins, 1 loss. And tomorrow,
Yeah.
EFL Cup. Crawley Town plays Brighton Hove Albion.
Oh boy, they're in
At
trouble.
They are super excited. They've
At the
been
Hove.
Yeah, going to Brighton. And Brighton, if I remember right, EPL standings, top of the table. Is that correct?
No, second. Man City's
Second.
first.
Oh man, I don't know that I could. A burning
Burning flames, fire, and brimstone all coming out of your ears there, bro.
Man City. When is this club gonna get punished and go away? Man, I just cannot stand Man City. I don't even want to watch them. They, oh, just make me mad. And I'm not even a Man U fan or an Arsenal
Uh,
fan. Man City just ruining the game of football for everyone.
and on that note, Arsenal won at the weekend. If you wanted to be a frustrated Aston Villa fan, you probably are because it looked like they were going to score on a wide open net. And then David Raya dove backwards and whacked the ball by swatting at it with his that big old mitt and hit it, and it hit the post, and they cleared it out. And then they finally subbed in Trossard, who was the Belgian winger.
Trussard.
And he, with his first kick of the ball, he puts it right in the corner, and Arsenal go up 1-0. And he didn't even celebrate. He was like, I can't believe I wasn't in this game sooner. And I'm just going to sit here. And then all his teammates started pushing him. Then his teammates were doing this because that's his goal celebration. When you put the two little spectacles, like, I don't know, like he's trying to find somebody. Yeah, the little thing. Yeah, so he ended up doing it at the end, but he kind of celebrated stoically, like, of course I do this. I am Trossard. Anyway, that was cool.
Looks like
And they got one late to seal it. Yeah.
Looks like Everton is going to do their best to make sure they get relegated this season. It's
I
been close the
know.
last
Look
2
at
years,
them.
and they're already 2 games -7 goal differential. And as we know, if we listen to Tyler, there isn't anything more important than goal differential.
Then goal differential, baby. That's why Man City's on top. They're 5, Brighton are 4, and Arsenal and Liverpool and Tottenham are all 4, even though Tottenham's came from, one game. So they have a tie and a win. Yep.
And
so
yeah, they got Jamie Vardied.
yeah, some crazy results over the weekend in the EPL and a little bit in the MLS as well. But the biggest MLS news was last night. The Leagues Cup 2024 champions were crowned. Your favorite Eastern club and mine, Columbus Crew. Woo! The OG member of MLS, and the big Charlie Brown comes away with the the Leagues Cup. I always wanted to call it the Nations League. The Leagues Cup championship. All Final Four of the teams were MLS teams, and
Well,
It was a tight game. Did you guys watch it? Did you guys see it?
I saw the highlights and they scored two goals in stoppage time to win.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
Charlie
Good
Brown,
game though.
Charlie Brown, the Charlie Browns win all Lucy on LAFC
They totally
again.
did. They ripped it out from under them right
Right
as soon
before they
as
could,
LAFC thought that they were gonna Frenchie their way to the championship, and they did not. So take that.
couldn't have happened
Frenchie.
to a nicer club.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer couple of Frenchies.
Yeah.
I don't
Yep.
know why their nationality matters when they lose, but it just seems to matter when they lose.
I mean, it's
I
not
don't
like they
know
gave
why.
up. They didn't surrender.
No,
I mean,
no, they didn't give up. They didn't surrender. Fair point. Yeah, no, they fought to the end. They just, now, yeah, it was cool. Cool
okay.
game.
And then before we go, unless Brennan has anything about Manchester United and Ten Hog,
Still depressed, unhappy, and it's tough to be a Man U fan.
Hey, they're in 11th place, dude. Yeah. Sounds about right.
Yep, and I am unhappy.
And still, they're in 11th place without a style of football, right?
But at
Nobody
least they
knows
have
how they're doing.
three points and a goal differential of 0.
0. So they're fine. They're fine.
They're fine, right where they deserve to be.
Yeah.
Hey,
So one other update before we go. I don't know if we want to make this a weekly thing. We can for a little bit,
Yeah.
but there is the Black Tarantula update.
Oh
Gotta
boy.
have spider hands. Spider hands.
No. Mm-mm.
no.
Nope.
No, can't have the Black Tarantula update.
How'd the Black Tarantulas do this week, Brent?
Well, there's only one team, and they go against. We split them up, and these are U45, so you know it's serious football.
Serious football.
Serious football. Although we can report, grandson Beck scored his first 3 goals.
Yeah.
Two of
How many
them-
of them?
2 of them in the right goal. One of them went in the other one, but 3. They all count.
They all count. Yeah, they all count. He scored 3 goals. First hat trick. How does that feel to be his dad, Brennan?
He was so sad. I was so proud
What?
of him, and I was like, "Oh, how'd your soccer game go?" And he goes, I scored 3 goals." I was like, "No way, you scored 3 goals." Yeah, it's not that many.
Not that many.
I don't think you know, man. Trying to convince a 4-year-old 3 goals is a lot. Is harder than I
Well,
thought. It
to be fair, we do have a couple of girls that score 7 or 8 goals a game.
Yeah, that's true.
He's got a little work to do, but his second goal was beautiful. He came out of nowhere. He came crashing into the box and just put his foot right through it and sent it in 2 feet in front of goal and just rushed it. He was like, "Where'd
And
you come from?"
do they do this to celebrate, like running
we gotta
back and
do
forth the
do
spider
spider
hand?
hands. See your
There you go.
spider
Yeah.
hands. Yeah,
Yeah,
black
nice.
tarantulas, they mean trouble. So you got to watch out for them. And so I guess that's your league U4, U5 rec league,
Tarantula update of the week.
Black Tarantula update. I should keep track of how many goals they actually do score.
That'd be
Yeah.
fun.
Because it's like 15, 16, 20 goals. It's pretty amazing. I mean, it's just really good coaching, I think. I don't know.
Or no one's taught him defense yet. Maybe that's it.
No
Oh,
one's taught him anything. What are you talking about?
Kick and run, kick and run. That's how you got to teach at that age.
we're
Keep
teaching them how to
running,
have fun.
kicking.
That's the most important thing. They are having fun. That's all I care
No, I
about.
did see late. I did see one of the kids celebrate a goal too. That was kind of fun. He kind of celebrated, jumped into his mom's arms, ran off the field, and his mom was cheering super loud or something. So
Yeah, that
that's
might have
fun.
been
The joy
that
of little
might have been
kids soccer.
Natalie because they promised her ice cream if she kicked the ball and she
Oh,
went
that's
a
probably what
couple
it
of
was.
goals. So good
Yeah.
for Natalie.
Ice cream, it is, even
Yeah.
if you miss the goal.
Yeah, I just put it up on the website, the report on the Black Tarantula game against the Black Tarantulas because we just split up. There's one of them.
Yeah. So next week we got the New England Revolution Tarantulas. They're like the tarantulas of the East. No? Okay.
No, it was a good try
No?
though. A
Okay.
for effort.
Well, if you remember last time we played them, we won 4-1. But it's been since 20. Oh wait, no, that was 2018. In 2019, we tied 0-0, and in 2022, it was 2-3 for us. We beat them 3-2.
Yeah, that was when we came back in the snow. So I don't know what the forecast is, but I doubt it's going to be snow.
Yeah, and it's not in New England, so that's great too.
Yep.
Hooray!
All right. Well, thank you for listening. Remember to follow us on all of the social medias. Twitter. We're over 500 on Twitter, which is pretty good for a bunch of old guys. Instagram. Where else are we?
Oh yeah, you keep putting stuff on Facebook too. That was good.
Yeah, we're on Facebook. We're on, well, we're old. I mean, that's, once you get over 50, you have to put stuff on Facebook. I
You
mean,
gotta be on Facebook. Yeah.
yeah. And then also you have to turn your phone in and get consumer cellular because
Oh, do you?
you just have like the big buttons and you can only
Oh,
call.
okay.
Yeah.
So dumb.
All right. And I got my first alert.
Uh,
If I fall down, I just pull the thing and EMS comes.
it's getting worse. It's getting
It's
worse.
terrible. Follow us on YouTube, goals.tv, and you'll see that soon. So follow us. We appreciate it. We love doing this, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
See ya.